Hey there, Denise Matteau here. I just had a conversation by email with Marcus Conte, who invited me to be interviewed on his show. I'm not going to download Skype or anything into my phone, so he prefers to do things that way. And while we were having that conversation, another email came through. This one was addressed to him, but it was sent to me, telling me I had better not go on his show. And I'd better not talk about Dave Acton. It was from Thomas Schoenberger. It contains a image that looks like it's supposed to be an email that I supposedly wrote. And I did have conversations with Mr. Schoenberger by email. But I've been noticing that Leppo's done this too. He's put up emails that were sent to him from me, because he emailed me and I replied. And he put up several that were not from me. He put up the address, then he puts up the body, and it's like, I never said these things. And then he put the part I did say. So, it's you see what they're doing. Well, this one from Schoenberger concerning Marcus Conte, he includes a image, PNG image, of what is supposedly an email. And I recognized part of it as something, yes, I did have this conversation, but then I saw other stuff. Not only did I not say it, but it isn't even stuff, doesn't even sound like me talking. And I looked at the image completely. You can tell when you look at it that this was not a screen print of an actual email. It's photoshopped. And these are the things that Dave Acton and his friends are sending around to official state police agencies and local police as well. They've been photoshopping my address into things, or not. I don't know how they put the address to come up as the from one. I've got some email that's to me from me. That's garbage that they put together just to show me they can do it. I'm just letting people know, when you are seeing these things done, first of all, before you go using that stuff as if it's real, understand the level of photoshopping that's going on here. That's why I really prefer not to get involved with all the screen share stuff, because I've seen Leppo smearing and slandering people with that. Not just him. I mean, he did that thing with the email. But I've seen a lot of these people. Everyone knows Agent 19 and Monograph, Brenda Becker, Colleen Kokar. They all do it. And police departments, they're talking at entry-level people. They're sending stuff to people who really are not specialists and aren't, they don't have a lot of time, and a lot of them are taking it at face value. But that kind of thing can only succeed for so long. And I think that an increasing number of people who have tried to have online businesses, who have tried to express their ideas and opinions or do creative work, an increasing number of people are facing this gang activity. Dave Acton has risen to the level of impersonating. He's trying to present himself as being a legitimate member of fusion centers. And I was a little confused. I thought, what is that? That's a new term. Well, of course, he keeps up with these things because he's an impersonator. He's not an actor. He is an actor, but he's gone over the line. Fusion centers apparently are what they are now calling what we used to call major crime units. okay, or task force. Task force would usually be related to one particular case or topic. But these fusion centers are where state, local, and federal authorities come together, thus the name Fusion Center. Major crime units used to be individual by state. Some states have big ones, others probably hardly anything at all. Depends. Every state organizes its internal law enforcement differently. But the kinds of emails that Mr. Sweigert has been sending to Texas agencies, to my local police department, and to lawyers and other officials in other states as well. He sent a bunch of them to Indiana University. He's presenting himself as if he has, see, the spoliation notice, that's another thing. A private citizen doesn't have the right to make that demand on anybody. An officer of the court would be the one who would send something like that. An officer of the court includes your own attorney. If you are suing somebody, if you have already, if your attorney is registered as an attorney in that area, that state bar or whatever, then he's considered an officer of the court. That's why attorneys can do things private citizens can't. Now, if a private citizen is pro se, he has to go through court rules on that. He doesn't have the right to call himself an officer of the court and use the laws that are exercised, the lawful authority that is exercised by officers of the court. He doesn't have the right to send these spoliation notices. That's impersonating an officer of the court. And if he claims he's doing it because he's suing me, well, I haven't been served any papers. There's no lawsuit. Dave Acton is a terrorist. He's a sovereign citizen activist, along with Monograph and these others. We know this is a sovereign citizen crew. We know what they are. A lot of people get pulled into this stuff because they're too goddamn naive to understand. A lot of this stuff takes a lot of years to figure out. That's why you see old farts like me speaking up about it. But Dave Acton, yeah. He got a lot of people ticked off at him now. And I don't really care about that guy. That guy's nothing. He's nothing. But he's part of a gang. He's been role-playing in order to assist gang members to impersonate uniformed authorities in times of natural disaster. That's why he plays EMTs and these other things. Because that's the plan. That's the sovereign citizen plan, to step in and replace. When they successfully evacuate a port, see, that's the thing. Acton is part of that network. And you can go through the news for down here in Corpus Christi in the past 2-3 months. Go through our local mainstream news channels and discover this. There were men going from door to door with fake badges asking questions about who's in the house. Yeah. The police, the official, real, genuine police departments put out some notices that please, check back with us if you're suddenly confronted by these people. They didn't catch them. They had a few doorbell camera visualizations of them. And the only reason I'm pointing it out is I'm pointing out that police departments are aware of the scam, especially when it involves the sovereign citizen groups that are involved around these people with the YouTube channels. And you can get every cop in town to agree with you that Denise Matteau is a mental case. Doesn't matter. Eventually, you're going down. Your gang is going down. I'm not the only one having these Photoshopped things put up against me. There are other people having it done. And they don't know. Some of them are just upset. They don't know what to do about it. Others maybe thinking they're the only one because, oh, it's personal. This person's doing it to me for personal. No, you look carefully at it. It's a gang. If you have a small business or you're some kind of family connection to some kind of regional or local authority, you have anything that is of interest to this gang, particularly the sovereign citizen networks. And that includes, you get into the Antifa and this other stuff. That's who it is. This far right, far left fringe stuff that comes together. Doesn't matter if people think I'm crazy or not. These are the facts of what's going on. It's really, really discouraging to see the level to which American society has lost control of our own political culture. And I'm not talking about the political philosophy of whether you believe the government should pay for medical care or provide food stamps or anything else. I'm talking about knowing civics lessons, knowing who has actual authority to tell a private citizen to do this or that. I mean, when Tammy Mathis and Lori Alexander, two other members of the Sovereign Citizen Network, when they send out letters to people saying, we command you. Command is a word that a court official can use in a legal document. A private citizen doesn't command another private citizen to do anything. When Acton talks about being a member of a fusion, whatever he said, a fusion center, he's impersonating. That's what he's been doing. And he can fool these people, because if you're just doing your job as a paralegal at a university and you have a professional actor acting the role of a fusion cop, you're not thinking this is an actor. You're thinking, oh, wow. Yeah. Then you contact. And they don't know who he is. That doesn't mean they say, oh, yeah, fine. They take it at face value until they have reason to dig and say, well, who is this guy actually? What is he trying to get out of these people? Now, that already has started to happen. Because one of Acton's cohorts, the Indiana fake cop, has complained. She complained that her attempts to get information about my daughter have run up against brick walls. Why? Because while the law enforcement is being polite to you, as long as they really believe they're speaking to another police officer, there does get a point where they say, well, wait a minute, what is your authority to ask this question? Not everything is public record. And they've begun to look at this. They're looking at it. I'm not the only victim of this. If somebody were to do a statistical study, it would be interesting to see exactly how many people have been victim part of this, either by being persuaded to talk about things to someone who is persuading you that they're doing a legitimate documentary or whatever, and then they're using it for blackmail. That's what Schoenberger's doing with all the stuff about my family. That's what he's doing with it. I didn't give it to him for that purpose. And I can prove that. I can prove my interest in what I said to him. And I can also prove, and the forensics are going to prove to themselves without me even saying peep, if they really start to look at it, they're going to have to forensically go over that stuff, and they're going to say, wait a minute, she said this and she said that, but she didn't say this. She didn't say she was going to say this about that person. That's where the blackmail comes in. And that's what Schoenberger's doing. And that's what Dave Acton is doing. They work together. And Marcus Conte is absolutely 100% right. When he showed Titus Frost on the screen with Acton and Schoenberger being good cop, bad cop, Frost is the kind of person who falls for that kind of stunt. I've gotten insults from him and said, what the hell is he insulting me for? I don't do shows about him. But he picks up that kind of stuff and he runs with it. He believes it. They're now playing him up to be some kind of vigilante nutcase because he's willing to take things that are partially true. Yes, there is a human trafficking problem. Partial truth. Mix it with something sensational, hand the guy a gun and send him off. That's what these guys are doing. Marcus Conte is, on that score, he's 100% right. I probably disagree with him about a lot of things, but on that score, he's 100% right. These two are running a professional tag team. They're not acting alone. Everyone knows that. Just watch it play out. And it doesn't matter what anybody thinks about somebody else's mental status. Every single individual in YouTube can call me every name in the book. They can even get every single uniformed cop in Texas to call me every name in the book. Doesn't matter. The facts stand on their own. Denise Matteau, God bless some, have mercy on some, and to hell with the rest. Over and out.